民跟后国，中央人民政府今天胜利了。
但是你们能不能？
刚才也问我啊，我可以回半点去，不可有奉告。我也不高兴。
哎，什么叫中国共产党啊？党叫干啥就干啥。
黑夜即将到，一定要做好准备。
干死共产党！不干死共产党，绝不罢休！
消灭中共是正义的需要。
Hi, good morning, everybody. Welcome to Exposing the CCP. Glad to see you again, and very nice to meet you, Mr. Chu and Chris.
Hi. Hello, everyone. Hello, Zia and Chris, Flower. Good to be here. Thank you.
Hey, Chris.
And hi, everyone. Yeah, I'm happy to be on the show again tonight. Thank you.
Awesome. Today we're going to be discussing some topics, communisms, global communisms, as Miles has been emphasized before. You know, we used to think except Chris, we and Mr. Chu, we all came from mainland China, the communist China. We all know the communism. We thought, you know, there are probably only a few communism countries right now in the world, but later on, as we can see right now, the communism ideology has been spreading all over the world, including Europe, South America, and Australia, Asia, everywhere. Now we have been living under this, and let's check some videos and see what Miles told us about and warnings, and we're going to see what we can do and what we have to do for our future, our children. Let's check out the video.
The biggest threat we face as human beings is now communism, and every disaster originates from communism. After the CCP fully integrated with Russia in 2012, mankind began to enter darkness. The US is the leader in biological sciences, followed by Russia and then China. Russia and the US were the first countries to research bioweapons, and you can't even imagine that Russia is actually producing the most awesome vaccines. Except for large weapons, Russia can't produce small things or have a light industry. In addition, vaccine research and biotechnology are definitely first class. Ukraine was quite good. With the joint efforts of communists in Beijing and Russia, the top communist countries, in their $460 billion contract signed in Shanghai, mankind, especially the United States, has entered the most dangerous era. I have to stress here that neither Beijing nor Russia wants the Jews to be strong or good. They don't want good things happening in Britain or the United States. When you watch the video showing many people died in Iran, in fact, very few people died in Iran, and Iran's vaccination data is all fake. Let me tell you that the impact of the vaccines is completely controllable in North Korea, Iran, Pakistan, Russia, and China, and they decide who needs to die. Before my public revelation in 2017, I met and talked to various countries, NATO, and the US government about the 5 evil alliances, but no one paid any attention. Now they have put these 5 countries together. Anyone who has followed my revelations will understand how evil these 5 countries are. I want to tell everyone that the new federal state of China is, not by guessing or our luck, one of the key people who have the master key to the CCP's Pandora plan, which has caused a great disaster in the world. We are the one group that has the ability and the strength, not 100%, to reverse the situation. We cannot reverse the situation 100%, but we are definitely going to win. It's just a matter of how much it costs. Of course, our fellow fighters must understand. We are the messengers, just like the vaccines using messenger RNA, the messengers for spike protein. Messengers. We are one of the 40 trillion messengers. The real capable people are our nameless fellow fighters, the scientists watching the live broadcast in front of the camera, and the many selfless, dedicated fellow fighters inside the CCP. These selfless, dedicated fighters are the greatest. Our fellow whistleblower movement fighters are the most important, genuine angels. We are the ones who truly spread and convey God's goodwill and life-saving messages to mankind. We are not great at all, but we have a mission. I firmly believe that through the whistleblower movement's repeated broadcasting, we all know how many people we have saved. Imagine the number of lives we've saved. We will save more people.
Thank you for coming back. And Miles has have so many videos warning about the communisms, and we initially thought, it's the Soviet Unions, right? Maybe when they collapsed, the communism maybe gone in the West war, but actually not. The ideologies, all the deep connections behind it still survived, and they're still changing, evolving, and trying adapting and influencing the current people's mind. And the plan seems to be quite successful, as Miles mentioned earlier. They all want to build a global government and try to use vaccine or many other technologies to control the population. And seems like they kind of succeed in some definition terms. And let's ask Chris. What's your thought and what's your takeaway from this video, please, Chris?
Hi. So from the video, after watching the video and as long as the CCP permits it, they can research, experiment, and develop bioweapons and viruses. Ukraine is a relatively poor country in Eastern Europe with a highly corrupted government. The key point is the Ukraine's sites are in war zones, locations with ongoing armed conflict. They exploit the chaos and create by war to drill loopholes and divert regulatory attention. This is why they choose PRC and Ukraine. Because they have corrupted governments and they have no oversight. As long as the money is in place, they can do whatever they want. This is also why Hunter Biden's Rosamond Seneca invested in Metabiota, the biolab contract companies, and choose Ukraine as the locations. The Biden family is also linked to the Xi Jinping. And also in the video, we can see that Mr. Miles Guo mentions the 460 billion contract signed between CCP and Russia in Shanghai, which mainly refers to the 30-year natural gas supply agreement signed on May 21st, 2014 during the Shanghai CICA summit between CNPC, the China National Petroleum Corporations, and Gazprom, Russian gas industry shareholding companies. These agreements involves Russia supplying natural gas to China via the power of Siberia pipeline. This natural gas contract was designed to serve a purpose when the CCP challenged the United States. To challenge America, the CCP needs a smooth energy pipelines to avoid US sanctions on CCP's energy sources, such as blockade seaborne oil shipments. They rely on the natural gas pipeline to maintain energy supply. So this pipeline is also tied to the CCP's power struggles. Yue Xinyu rendered great service to Xi Jinping. He helped Xi Jinping to secure the relationship between Xi Jinping and Putin. Today, Putin is no longer aligned with Jiang Zemin, Hu Jintao, or Deng Xiaoping's factions. Back then, Jiang Zemin must have thought Putin was someone he personally brought in. He could never betray Jiang Zemin. But Xi Jinping had no chance of connecting with Putin. Yet, in the second year of Xi Jinping's rise to power, through Yue Xinyu's matchmaking, he surprisingly signed a procurement deal with Russia worth over 400 billion USD. At the same time, Yue Xinyu also helped establish a private political alliance between Xi Jinping and Putin. And now we know that Jiang Zemin has already passed away. So that's why we now see Xi Jinping has the connection with the Putin. And also in the video, Mr. Miles Guo also mentioned the 5 evil Axis countries in the political alliance mentioned in the video, which are the CCP China, Russia, North Korea, Iran, and also the Middle Eastern small countries like Syria. And I think the most important key point in this video is that the key person to reverse the Pandora's box code is Tu Youyou, inventor of the artemisinin, the antidote to bioweapon viruses. It can penetrate the blood-brain barrier, clear spike protein out from the brain. And this is one of NFSC's most important piece of intelligence provided to the world. Thank you.
Oh, excellent. Thank you, Chris, for providing so many detailed information. You mentioned several things, why they choose this China and maybe Ukraine to do this development work. That's a very, very good thought. Thank you, Chris. And now we go to Mr. Truth for your comments and opinions. Please take your time.
Thank you, Z, and thank you, Chris. Thank you, Chris, for the fundamental information you just have provided through Miles Guo's video, which is very important intel from. I think the most important side is number one, the origin. Why is Ukraine and China, Wuhan? It's because both countries, doesn't have the stringent rule of law, and so it's easy to do the dirty works. I reviewed some videos in Ukraine side as well through other medias. It seems that the investigative journalists are trying to get close to the laboratory which makes the research and manufacturing of those pathogens and also the viruses. Yet the factory, there's like a military guard come out to the factory and tell the reporter to go away, and warn them a couple of times. They say, if you not go away, we're going to shoot you. So, I mean, the few attempts the reporter went away, and the question was asked about who paid for the establishment and what is inside and being manufactured. So those informations, it's already in the media, but really no one give a damn care about it. So what? In contrast, the CCP's P4 lab, we know that Wang Yanye, the director for the P4 lab, had a very interesting relationship with Dr. Fauci and also Wang Yanye's husband as well. So allegedly that there are millions of dollars from Dr. Fauci's of United States went to invest in the P4 lab in Wuhan. And then with the stories of like the bad ladies, all those misinformation, disinformation. But however, Miles School did tell us, what is if you enter into Wuhan P4 lab, and it's like a big piece of artwork, like a carved stone. It says Pandora's box. So don't let me open the Pandora's box. It's like a very interesting. It's very clearly. So later on, Miles further said, this is where Pandora's box is through the 13579 plan of the CCP. Okay, they have a planned to how to take the West, how to spread the pandemic, and then kill people in the world, reduce the population, and so on. That's where the Pandora's box that we, quite a few years ago, we often talk about that. But I think the story went further. When I remember in the 5 years ago, that I think it's in August, there is a world military sports competition held in Wuhan. So in August, and they actually CCP trying to spread the COVID-19 viruses into them. And then September as well. And I was in September. I saw those things happens. I know that myself and a few other guys went there from Australia. And when we come back, we'll get cough and stuff like that. We didn't know that was the case. Not, a few months later, towards the end of the beginning of the Chinese New Year, which is about probably 5 months later, what happened is the CCP shut down all the air traffic, except let the Wuhan's international, traffic airplanes all fly to Western cities, capital cities. That's where the virus was carried out, and the reporting in CNN was crazy. So many people died and so on. Okay, so that was the personal observation while we're seeing this. So this is not coincidence. Okay, it is actually deliberately planned and deliberately trying to harm the Western economy when you kill the people and also restrict the freedom of travel. You remember in Australia, if you don't wear a mask, if you go to like a restaurant or food court, the police is there to tell you to, a very, it's like you like enemies, something like that. You have to make sure you have a mask in your pocket, so immediately you put it on. We know later on, Dr. Fauci said it's airborne 2 meter distance. There's no scientific basis later on. It's actually out of his mind. They just people need to keep a distance from it. And we later on find out that it's a psychological warfare integrated with the biological warfare. How? I mean, to use main media to spread, the fear of if you catch a COVID-19 virus, you'll be dead, and there's some people dead for sure. Okay, and at the same time, then they are pushing out for the vaccination. Well, this is where you sort of, if you have a common sense about the vaccination research, you got to have like 10 years or something like that. I mean, if you don't do 10 years safety research, find out that the vaccine doesn't kill more than, I think, 1% of the population or less, then you cannot pass the FDA's permit. So you know you cannot really inject on humans. But that, I think that was violated. Okay, that wasn't stick. This is why we see so many people find out that later on the vaccination has cancer-causing agent, the nanoparticles and spike proteins, and also some niso heavy metals as well. Once you get injected, you be killed more quicker than the virus itself. But then further government mandate uniformly in the Western economies, if you don't get injection, you cannot go to work. You may lose your livelihood, your income, and so on. So if you look at it back over the last 5 years, Mao scored the new federalist state of China is the only organization warned people so many times. The vaccination is a biological weapon. It's more lethal than the virus itself. Don't get vaccinated. Of course, a lot of people still do for all kind of reasons. I mean, some people don't believe it. Other people say, I got no choices. I got a mortgage to pay, so what we can do? So when you look back, it's just a carefully planned, according to Mao's score, they got a 13579 plan. That plan is to, have the virus spread from Wuhan people lab to the rest of the world, create a story of fear, and then mandate the vaccination, push it out, so Pfizer, Moderna, and all that, without actually disclosure the human trial, the limited human trial wasn't, gonna disclose for 75 years. I think thanks for the U.S. legal system, I think it was ordered that you got disclosed that out within 1 or 3 months. It came out, so many people died in the first couple of days once you injected the host. How could, in the Western world, the rule of law, how could you allow that massive murder to happen? I mean, this is considered. How do you what happened to provide such a big cover up? As Miles mentioned about the World Population Reduction Plan. So I think if you review the whole story, you can see number one, it's a cohesion of the evil leaders in the world trying to reduce the population, and also we were never given notice about what is really truly inside the vaccination, and then we were just like pigs get mandate the vaccination, and because if you don't do it, you cannot get out. You look at the Wuhan, where the origin of the virus come from. You see people fly off the buildings, and the CCP just mandate everyone to lock them down and also seal the unit door so they cannot get out. They only have about maybe a couple of days of food in the fridge. It's not allowed, there's no delivery then, okay? And then people just die of hunger, die of, all the miseries, and then jump over the buildings. So many people died. I think CCP definitely committed the most brutal slaughter of Chinese people again. Okay, as they have done, killed hundreds of millions of people over land reform, over cultural revolution, and then now over this creation of COVID-19 virus and vaccination, and it's spread to the rest of the world. So I think the CCP should be held accountable by the Western rule of law societies. I hope this happens sooner. Back to you, Zi. Thank you.
Awesome. Very, very nice. Thank you for both of you sharing. Yeah, we hopefully, more and more people realize the truth about the communisms, and we can work together to take them down and stop them from hurting the people. And regarding the damage, they already done to the world, the vaccine, the virus, etc. The NFSC, like Miles School and a lot of NFSC's followers, scientists, have provided some solutions. Ivermectins, artemisinin could be a good cure if we really have some people or friends suffer from severe adverse events, or maybe can help to prevent future infection. So, but that again, we have to also emphasize this is not a medical. There's always medical concerns. Maybe there's some problems. You got to still consult your own medical expert to seek for the professional opinion. So we're just using as a regular protection perspective to show you, it can be effective in some way. Okay, but we still have hope. Although the communism try to destroy humanity, we can see. This is just every time I review this, if you look at from the other perspective, like the humans are really powerful. No matter in what way we were created, it's a very robust system. Even the vaccine, we know it's so toxic, have trillions of mRNA try to mess up with our a lot of people's gene and bodies. You can see that most of them are still seems okay, and life is very robust. I think we do believe the technology is a dual-sided sword, right? It can save people, it can kill people. It depends on who used it. And I think in one day we're gonna, after taking down the communism, the humanity is gonna be saved. More and more people's lives will be saved in some way. So we have to keep fighting with communism for now, and until we win this battle. Okay, we still have some more time, and let's go to Chris again, and then Mr. Chu for a final round of comments, and we'll wrap up. Maybe Chris.
Okay. So Mr. Mouseglow mentioned in other videos that to destroy the CCP, we must see a rift develop between Xi Jinping and Putin. So I believe that although Xi Jinping and Putin appear to be allies, this is an unstable alliance. Russia internally does not see the CCP as a true friend, but view the CCP as an enemy and competitor. Therefore, conflicts between China and Russia are inevitable. The United States has ways to exacerbate these conflicts and to accelerate the destruction of the CCP. So anyway, the justice will eventually come, but it might come late. So we need to keep fighting. Thank you.
Thank you. We need to fight
Yes.
until communism is eliminated, right? Yes. And now, Mr. Chu.
Yes, absolutely. I agree with you, Chris. We just need to keep fighting. I think finally, once we know what's happening within China now, the big split between Xi Jinping and the military, and also the old guards. What happened is once the power becomes split, in other words, Xi Jinping loses its military command power. This is going to be very interesting. I think more than half, according to my score, 99% of the CCP, they don't want to die. They don't want to see that happens. So let's hope that all our fellow fighters within the CCP system or getting all activated and wake up and then take down the CCP from within. That will be the fastest way. So China will have a clean environment for people to live and then maybe thrive as well. Let's take down CCP. Thank you.
Thank you, both of you. Let's take down the CCP. We'll see you next time to the show. We're going to continue to expose the truth about the CCP. Thank you for watching, and thank you, Mr. Chu and Chris. I see you next time. Bye.
Thank you.
All right, thank you. Take down CCP.
Take down CCP.
Take down CCP. Bye.